Between the hedges and our matchup, the 7th-ranked Georgia Bulldogs against the Wildcats of Kentucky. 93,000 on hand for the final home game here in Athens on Senior Day as well. And as you take a look at the SEC East standings, Georgia obviously on top. They already know for the first time since 2012 they're going to play in Atlanta for the SEC Championship the first Saturday of December. Kentucky's had a fine season and comes in here with a 7-3 record. As Georgia's Dogs, number 1 a week ago, number 7 now, about to break through the G. And onto their home field, where they have won them all so far this year. Here come the Dogs. And we welcome you, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Gary Danielson. One blemish now on the Dogs' record. We saw it a week ago. So they go from number 1 to number 7. But everything's out there for them, Gare. They can still keep winning. They can still make the college football Final Four. But they have to regroup after what we saw a week ago.
And I think for Georgia, I think they're fortunate on Cupcake Weekend to be playing a real good, legitimate foe in Kentucky. A physical football team should get them ready to play football and put last week behind them.
Auburn had the blueprint. I don't know if Kentucky can do what they did, but they stopped the Georgia ground game.
And the only way to do it is stop their main guys that have the football. Nick Chubb and Sony Michel, as Auburn did a week ago. If you stop the 2 main guys for this Georgia offense, then you put it back, as you said, the blueprint. Everybody all year has been saying, can we put it in Jake Fromm's hands? Now, he wasn't the worst guy on the field for that offense last week. In fact, when you talk to the coaches, they say he handled himself well. And let's see, coming into this game, could Georgia tweak their offense a little bit thinking forward?
Well, they made a lot of stupid mistakes and penalties, all of that. They've got to get rid of that this week, too. But Kentucky comes in here. They've kind of got the blueprint, too. Solid ground game and a good defense.
You know, they're called a physical football team, and they better be physical in this football game. Benny Snell is their physical football player. When you watch him run, he sets what that Kentucky offense is. But the real key here is, can the Blitz brothers, those 2 linebackers for Kentucky, Josh Allen and Denzel Ware, can they do enough to get it into an opportunity so that they can blitz the quarterback? They better bulk up, because they have to stop the run first.
We mentioned Senior Day today. So many great players. Actually, a lot of them that could have gone to the NFL and chose to return, like Lorenzo Carter and Davin Bellamy, Dominique Sanders, Aaron Davis defensively for the Dogs. And then on offense, you'll hear the big cheers for Sony Michel and Nick Chubb. Roommates, best friends, and playing their final game here in Athens today. And more on that. Third member of our team, Allie LaForce. Allie?
Brad and Gary, it seems like ages ago that a freshman named Nick Chubb was scoring a touchdown in Georgia's season opener against Clemson. That was just a sneak peek into what this now senior class would mean to Georgia football. The 9-0 start to start this season was the best since 1982. They clinched a trip to the SEC Championship game. That's something that no player on this roster has ever gotten to experience. They also still have a shot at the college football playoff, and if they don't look too far ahead, a win today would make them the only team to go undefeated against the Eastern Division teams. But it's not about stats on Senior Day, guys. The guys you mentioned, like Nick Chubb, like Sony Michel, Lorenzo Carter, Davin Bellamy, they chose to come back after Kirby Smart's first year, and that's why Kirby told us today will be very emotional for him. When I asked him what he was going to tell the team before the game, he said, I'm just going to tell them I love them.
I tell you what, he was emotional even in the meeting yesterday, and he talked about guys like Nick and Sony and saying they're the pillars that we will build Georgia football on for the future. Great day, 68. Cloudy skies. We had some sun at times.
I think it's a great opportunity for Kentucky as well, though, Brad. Coming into this football game, a signature road win. I know they had one at Louisville and South Carolina in the past, but can they do it against the heavyweights?
The Cats won the toss, elected to defer, and that means Georgia's going to bring it out of the end zone. Nicole Hardman got a little crease, and he got out. Nice return out to the 25-yard line. As we check the Chick-fil-A starting lineups, and it all starts with the freshman, number 11, Jake Fromm. Passing efficiency-wise was great until a week ago, but as Gary said, it wasn't his fault. At least not all his fault. The setback at Auburn a week ago. There's his numbers coming in. Arm run back to kick, but he's a dangerous wide receiver as well.
Yeah, I wonder how they'll get him involved, especially after he had that big drop punt a week ago. I bet they want him in this football game.
On 2nd and 9, trying to go after DeAndre Swift. And nice coverage out there by Mike Edwards.
The right to rush the passer. That's what Auburn did it a week ago.
3rd down and 9. Fromm pressured from behind. A little step to the left, and he got it to Mecole Hardman for a first down. Felt the pressure there nicely and just kind of eased his way out of it, Gary.
Yeah, sometimes as that ball, that's close, and they might have to look at that again because it looked like it bounced after he got his hands on it, and then they re-caught it. Play that position this year.
Here we go, Hubert Owens.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
All right.
So again, for the replay official, he did not see enough to overturn it.
So Georgia with a first down at the 36-yard line.
Kentucky's offense has been moving the ball, and teams are passing the ball against them to stay in the football game. Less running plays.
All 3 wideouts to Fromm's left. That's where he fires complete. Levon Wims breaks a tackle. Out of bounds around the 43.
That was an odd-looking play for Georgia. It was like stacked hitch routes here. Watch the 2 Georgia players. They kind of both run hitches to the outside. Don't see that very often. I got to believe one of those guys had a busted route.
Worked out for him, but you're right.
It's like baseball. You throw to the cutoff guy, and if you don't hit it, there's a guy behind him.
So 3rd down and 3. They got their last 3rd down conversion. Empty backfield for Jake Fromm. Quick throw, and it's intercepted. Picked off, and it's one of the Blitz brothers, Josh Allen. And Kentucky's got it.
You know, I do not know why Jake Fromm missed this one. There was no look of a blitz. Look at it. It was clearly just a 3-man blitz right here, and the linebacker standing right there. Boy, that was a tough read for your quarterback to miss. I mean, you know it's an 8-man drop. You know those linebackers are going to be covering that short territory. That's probably one of the poorest decisions Jake Fromm has made all season.
So Josh Allen, who leads Kentucky in tackles for loss and sacks, comes up with the interception.
You know, Brad, sometimes you can get fooled when those linebackers are in the line of scrimmage and they back out.
Now the Dogs defense looking for a stop on 3rd and short. Snell, first down, and a couple extra tough yards.
Well, it's hard if you're Kentucky and Ed Gans, their offensive coordinator, after watching the Auburn football team run the ball right at Georgia with Kerryon Johnson, and you got a guy just like him who's a physical runner, and not try to say, let's see if they can stop the run, right?
Yep.
I mean, before we do anything else, let's see if we can block them first.
You see Snell with back-to-back 1,000-yard campaigns for Kentucky. Joined in the backfield by Saheem King now, and they fake it to King. Johnson running for his life. Bellamy was given chase, and the throw is incomplete out of bounds. 2nd down at 10, Kentucky. Play action. Johnson reloads, throws, incomplete, intended for his tight end. Georgia had it pretty well covered. To your screen. Johnson fires near side. Would have been an acrobatic catch, incomplete. Taven Richardson, the intended receiver.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Malcolm Parrish, one of the seniors that got introduced, got his picture taken, was right in the grill that time. There's no chance on that one. That was either thrown high for a, high point throw. That's how you got to cover to the outside, because man-to-man, you leave no room for that throw. Good coverage by Malcolm Parrish.
Brings in Austin McGinnis. He's hit 9 straight field goals. This will be a 37-yard attempt. He's hit 10 straight field goals. So the interception of Fromm turns into 3 points for Kentucky. And the Cats on the road take the lead in Athens.
End man on the line of scrimmage.
So that backs it up to 2nd and 13. Play action for Fromm. Here comes the pressure. They get to him. He's got to dive to get back to the 20-yard line. Talking about the penalties a week ago. There's no such thing as a good penalty, but we call that bad penalties, like a late hit out of bounds, for instance. Interfering with a punt return. Hurdling on a punt. This is illegal. You can't do that. It's for the safety of the players.
Yeah, I think a penalty on a special team, though, is especially egregious because it really is like giving the ball back.
Right.
That's a turnover.
And you saw Sony Michel, the last shot. Sony was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which she says was unlike his normal game.
Skill. And he's so competitive, isn't he?
TJ Carter over there on the sideline appears to be okay. Which uncle was it?
It was Uncle Hank, I think it was.
Uncle Hank at Thanksgiving time.
Bad time to pull his finger. You're right. You got it.
Well, pulling the trigger is Fromm, but he's incomplete, intended for Hardman. And it's going to bring up 4th down as we check in with Allie. Right.
Quentin Mohana is a true freshman. It was a change for the Ole Miss game. They actually moved past 2 players, Pringle and Elam, to beat the nose tackle. He's an important cog in there. They need him back.
First punt of the day. Cameron Niziolek. Ooh, he just got it away and he got hit. We're going to have a flag. I think it's roughing the punter, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, if it's roughing, it'll be an automatic 1st down.
He's still down.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Number 6 on the defense.
There you go.
15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
And that's a turnover. That's exactly what you talk about.
Ronnie Johnson called for the penalty, but Niziolek's still down.
Coming right off the edge. It actually gets squashed from 2 players back to back.
And the left knee right there does not go in that direction.
In for Bahana at the nose tackle spot.
320-pounder. Chubb again ran into his own blocker, trying to cut it outside and get to the edge, and he got there somehow. That was a long way to run for Chubb to get to the 42-yard line.
But man, Chubb made that into a 3rd and medium. It could have been 3rd and real long.
Chubb's out, Swift's in on 3rd and 4. And now Swift in motion. And it's going to be Fromm on a quarterback keeper, and he's got the 1st down and a bunch more. All the way down to the 38-yard line.
Well, this was quarterback draw all the way. This was not even close to a pass. The Georgia receiver started blocking, and Fromm makes a 1st down conversion. But give a lot of that to Chubb. They cannot call that play if Chubb doesn't get around the corner there and make that 3rd and medium.
Career long run, Gary, for Fromm, 21 yards, 1st down. Receivers to the right side. And now Blazevich in motion. Sony Michel got an opening off the right, made a move with the 35, and down to the 31-yard line.
Official could call that, stop the game and make it, and Kentucky could lose both their safeties. Didn't happen.
2nd and 3, Sony Michel again, straight up the gut. 1st down, Georgia inside the 25. Nick Chubb back in for Georgia on 2nd down and 8. Quick throw and completion. And close to a 1st down, Javon Wims. See where they spot this one.
This is another one of those plays where the offensive line is run blocking and the quarterback's throwing the RPO to the outside. And what Auburn was able to do to Georgia is to take that away. Forced them to pass block. By playing bump and run to the outside, they did not give Fromm any easy throws. Kentucky has backed off a bit, and you can see Jake is taking those easy throws. He's really comfortable doing that in their RPO offense.
They gave him the 1st down. So the Dogs in the red zone at the Kentucky 14. Here's a stretch play to Nick Chubb. Chubb inside the 10. the Verizon Red Zone for Georgia, 37 scores in 38 trips, and the only other one was a fumble that counts as a trip into the red zone by Godwin a couple of weeks ago.
So focused Friday when he walked in.
Boy, wasn't he?
Yep.
Let's see how focused he is here. Nick Chubb heading to the end zone. Touchdown, Georgia.
Nick Chubb with 6. Touchdown!
There's number 40 for the senior.
This play was designed to go to the left. And Chubb patiently sees it, feels it, and then hits the right side of the line. That is a really good run by Chubb. Lamont Gilliard, number 53, the center, got a key block.
Rodrigo Blankenship in for the point after. So second only to Herschel Walker in the record books as far as rushing. And now he's got his 40th touchdown on senior day as Georgia caps a 75-yard, 12-play drive, 6 minutes and 21 seconds, and Nick Chubb did the final 8. Dogs lead 7-3. With the 4 receiving touchdowns in his career, and as I said, number 40 on the ground, second only to Todd Gurley now, 44 touchdowns in his brilliant Georgia career. Nick Chubb. Remember that penalty on roughing the punter led to that 75-yard drive.
And it also maybe led to a key injury in the secondary. Mike Edwards, one of those 3-year secondary players that are so important in stopping the run coming up.
Lynn Bowden takes the kick from the goal line and hurdles out to around the 20-yard line. In the Wildcat right now for Benny Snell. And there's the quarterback coming back to join him now. Johnson getting some pressure for the first time, going down long, and is it caught?
Come on, how did he catch that?
He did. Blake Bone somehow got his hands through Malcolm Parrish.
How did he do that?
I don't know.
I thought, well, look at this catch backwards. He's going backwards as he catch it. Bones was actually going to the post. Johnson was throwing it to the outside. You don't see a better catch than that.
45 yards.
Holy cow. All of a sudden, it's a big pass play.
Here's a pitch to Snell. Tough run by Snell on a first down.
This guy runs angry.
He does.
He really does. He is really the heart and soul of this football team. As you look at Edwards go limping off. Again, that penalty could have cost a touchdown and one of your starting safeties leaving the game. But boy, look at Snell. Watch him. Runs angry every time he carries the ball. I bet Eddie Gantz is second-guessing his play calling the last time he was down there with 3 straight passes after they ran the ball so effectively.
Right at the 20. First down, Kentucky. Snell again, this time no gain. Nice play defensively by Tyler Clark. Coming into the game, Snell in the last 3 games had 472 yards and 9 touchdowns. And we told you, first Kentucky player with back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, which makes it second down and 10. Final minute of the first quarter. Johnson throws his tight end. Should have had it.
Hit by Aaron Davis.
Justin Rigg, the tight end, couldn't hold it.
Yeah, this is 4 vertical from a tight formation, meaning 4 guys are going to run up the field. The inside player is going to go right here. You put the pressure by going outside. You've got the open seam, but you got to stick it in there. And as Brad said, it's a catchable ball, and you're expecting your big tight end to handle that.
See if Georgia's defense has got to stop on 3rd and 10. Just bring 3-man rush. It's a little bubble screen. It's not going to get a first down, though.
Yeah, that's tough to go inside like that when you're dropping 8 people and the Georgia defense. That might have been a little bit of a misread by the receiver. You got to go outside on that. There's too many people inside to make that tackle for any chance of a first down. Now, if they're blitzing, it's a different story.
So it brings out a Groza semifinalist in Austin McGinnis. He hit from 37 earlier in the quarter. He's hit 10 straight. This will be a 35-yard field goal attempt to try to make it a 1-point game. Kick on the way and good. In the final 10 seconds, 11 seconds of the quarter. Well, they only get 3 out of it. But a great catch One of the best you're going to see today right there is what set up McGinnis for the field goal. 7-6 Georgia.
Georgia fans are asking, how come we don't throw the ball to the tight ends anymore, right?
I didn't say we, but I did say how come they don't
you
throw
did.
it.
That's true. I don't want to get you in trouble. Blazevich and Nada, why come the ball doesn't go to those guys? Two pretty good football players.
Nick Chubb, no gain on that one, and that will bring the quarter to a close. Jim Chaney just looked at me and said, don't call plays.
I know,
okay?
I know. I get enough of that already. My next door neighbor bothers me with that.
That's the end of the first quarter. Georgia at home leading Kentucky 7-6. We'll return to Athens after this message and a word from your local station. From throws outside to Wims. Picks up about 8.
A chance if they win to get second in the East because they got the tiebreaker going.
Sony Michel trying to stretch it out, but he's going to be a little bit short.
Yes.
Let's check in with Allie. Handling it every snap when it's not a Wildcat setup anyway. And 2nd and 7. Gives it off. Good run by King and a first down. Out near the 40.
Well, you know, Benny, Snell is the powerful one, but King looks to be the one that makes people miss.
And King, whoa, he got leveled on that one.
Do you think that fakes anybody when Steven Johnson goes in motion and fakes the jet sweep?
No.
I don't think anybody buys that.
No.
I don't think the
Roquan
linebackers
Smith
go.
didn't buy it. I know that.
Roquan Smith said, I might have been born at night, but I didn't. Not last night. Okay, I don't believe it. Until you hand that ball off to the quarterback on a sweep, I'm playing the dive play.
And coming from 6 feet off the sidelines a little
Exactly.
different.
I don't think Mark knew he came from the sidelines.
King empties that backfield. Johnson throws a quick slant, complete.
Yes, perfect.
Going to be short of the first down to Juice Johnson. Taking the direct snap in the Wildcat on 3rd down and 2.
This time Georgia doesn't like the look and they take a timeout.
Georgia. Their first time out of the half.
Not a happy head coach.
They had
Georgia
11
side.
players out there, so they did not like the look.
University of Georgia Athletic Association and Georgia Ballot.
Well, he was intense as a player. He was intense as an assistant coach, and he hasn't changed much as the head man. 3rd down and 2. Let's see what Matt Snell's great nephew does here on 3rd and short. Got hit in the backfield trying to get there, and he's close, but he's short.
You know, I was surprised that they came back to the Wildcat after Georgia could set up, have a meeting about it, and they come back to the same formation. It looked like the same play they were going to call. I would think because of that was Kentucky thinking it's 4-down territory.
They're that much short, we think, unless they're going to take a look at this. I think they're going to bring the sticks out and make sure. Looked like he was going to get stoned right there, and he bounced off and nearly got the first down. Roquan Smith finally stopped him. What we think is short, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, there was just enough. I thought if Snell would have taken that right up in there right away, he had a chance. He was actually giving the defense a little bit too much credit. Reggie Carter got just enough penetration to slow that thing down and then was cleaned up.
Looked like it was about the length of the football short, and it's about what it is.
Yeah, what do
Not
you do?
much.
What do you do if you're Mark Stoops?
From their own 49-yard line.
I'd be surprised if you just don't go quarterback sneak and push from behind. This is where the quarterback gets hit from behind from his own team.
Johnson under center. There's what Gary called, and it's an easy first down on the sneak, and he's still on his feet, actually. Got to the 48, inside the 48-yard line.
You know, nowadays, when you're allowed to push that runner forward, it seems to be a new technique. You put the H-back and the tailback, and if it's stopped at all, you get one more shove forward from your tailback. For me, that would have been Billy Sims or Ernest Biner. That would have hurt.
At the 43. Johnson, pocket collapsing, throws, deep sideline, incomplete. intended for Charles Walker, and it'll be 4th down again. Malik Herring got a hit on Johnson after he let go of the ball.
And I think it was Herring's hit that really saved a touchdown on this one. If Herring doesn't put the pressure on Johnson on this play, you're going to get the wheel route for a touchdown. Watch this. Just enough of a pick that's going to be at least down to the 10-yard line, but just enough pressure by Herring to force a throw where Johnson had to pick a spot to get rid of it.
Yesterday with Sony Michel and Nick Chubb about Miami and the success Mark Richter's had, and they both had huge smiles on their face. They, of course, played for him for 2 years before Kirby Smart. But here's what's on the line for Georgia. They know if they win this game today and then they beat Georgia Tech, they'll play in the SEC championship game against either Auburn or Alabama, win that, and they're going to move into that top 4 somewhere.
I think you summarized that perfectly.
Thank you.
Don't have to say a word.
1st and 10 for the Dogs, and it is Sony Michel looking for a crease and not finding one.
Well, I tell you, that Kentucky defense, Mark Stoops has to be thrilled with the way they're playing so far in this football game. Matt House, defensive coordinator, he knew. I talked to him on Thursday, Friday, something like that, and he knew what he was in for. You know, he looked at this Georgia team and he said, listen, the way Auburn stopped them, they're going to emphasize physical football, and if we can't play physical, we're going to get embarrassed. And he challenged his team, and so far they've answered.
From play action on 2nd and 8, has all day to throw, fires wide open in the middle of the field, Javon Wims. Wims slips away from a couple of tacklers and is inside the 40. Nick Chubb behind Jake Fromm. Chubb powers his way into Kentucky territory.
Well, how about that? You switch tackles, and then you run right at him.
Territory with 5:40 remaining in the half.
Sims had been one of the players that Georgia had been playing at right guard this year, 1 of 3.
Fromm scans the field, fires. Boy, nice throw to Godwin. Terry Godwin with another 1st down.
Well, listen, when you're committing that many people to stop the run, when you're challenging your secondary to help on those runs, that means that if you run those crossing routes, you should have players open, and a perfect throw that time from Jake Fromm.
1st down at the 27. Play action. Fromm throws deep. Touchdown, Georgia. Javon Wims.
Touchdown, Georgia. Arms pass to Wims. Number 26.
What a beautiful route by Wims on Derek Beatty. You stack it right here and watch him go outside technique, and then the double post takes the safety away, and you got a touchdown. What a route. Very patient, good throw, but you get those receivers to pressure outside from those short stances, you've got a chance.
Georgia goes on an 80-yard drive in 6 plays, back-to-back pure throws from the freshman Jake Fromm. This one, a 27-yard strike. Wims' 5th touchdown catch of the year, and the Dogs stretch their lead. Prior to halftime. Empty backfield for Johnson. Throws batted down at the line of scrimmage. I think it was David Marshall.
That pass is broken up by number 51, David Marshall.
For Kentucky here, and remember they get the ball to start the 2nd half.
Still have 2 timeouts as well. Johnson's going to throw it to Bowden, and that is beautifully played by Roquan Smith.
You want to know how to play linebacker and why you're considered an All-American candidate? Watch number 3 read this play and react to it as fast as he can. Little motion, he sees it, it's not a run, and he hits it in full stride. That's the way you play linebacker.
Roquan is a Butkus semifinalist and a Nagurski finalist in the Final 5. Georgia's leading tackler pretty much every game. 3rd and 10.
Pressure coming off the slot right here.
There they come. And it gets to Smith, and it's Roquan.
Number 3.
Same
Dumping
blitz.
Johnson.
Same blitz that was used last week that gave Auburn trouble in the first half, but they made Georgia pay in the second half, was dialed up, and on third down here, you get pressure inside, and you got those big guys coming inside and the other guys coming from the outside. Nowhere to go because big Lorenzo Carter said, you ain't throwing this one.
Matt Panton to punt. So be fielded at the 29 by Hardman. Miko Hardman gets it back to about the 49. We told you he may not be a starter, but he can make things happen, and he did on that punt return.
Well, he was so upset with himself last week, and if you remember, Kirby Smart went right over to him and said, Miko, there's going to be another play that you're going to make for us. Might not be this week, but as you can see, that guy's a game breaker.
So now Georgia's got a chance to score more before halftime.
And they've got their offensive tackle, Isaiah Wynn, back in the football game. That's good news for Georgia.
After the punt return, they start at their own 49-yard line. Hardman and Godwin to the bottom of your screen. Swift in the slot up top. Brian Harrion empties the backfield for Jake Fromm. Fromm throws sideline. What a catch by Wims.
Nice route, nice catch, nice protection.
It's on 3 catches last week, and every week he gets better.
Sure does.
Right now, 6 for 53 on that touchdown the last time they had it. Play action. Fromm fires, same spot. Back shoulder for Wims. He pulled it in. He says he got his toes down.
Well, he caught it, I'll tell you that. And we're going to find out if he had his toes in or not. Another great back shoulder throw.
Ooh, that was close.
Really was. Did the ball bounce at all? Let's make sure he's controlling the football. He's got it. His toes are down.
Running on the field is an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
I think they're going to give him this one, don't you?
I'm telling
we
you.
were wrong already once,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass.
So we're 0 for 2.
Somebody doesn't like us. That's 0 for 2. I haven't ever been 0 for 2.
It's the first time for everything.
I thought, wow. I thought this was actually a better catch than the last one.
I did too. Draw play to Sony Michel. And Sony's got a first down and a bunch more. Like a touchdown. Sony's saying, I got to get in the act. My buddy Nick had one in the first quarter. Let me take one 37 yards to the house myself.
I'll tell you, to the outside, underrated block by Riley Ridley, number 8, to do it. But one of the things when you talk to defensive coordinators around the league, he said that when you watch Georgia play, you see the smallest cracks, and these guys making big plays, and that was a perfect example right there.
Punt return to get it to the 49 that Georgia had a chance to score. They certainly took advantage of it. 1 minute and 27 seconds, 51 yards for the senior, 37-yard touchdown, Sony Michel. Early in the game, Nick Chubb got his 40th rushing touchdown. His roommate and best friend, Sony Michel, just scored his 27th rushing touchdown for the Dogs. So fun to be around those two.
Yeah, it was. We visited them a number of times. You know, when Vern and I were doing it, I'm sure you did it with Todd. They walk into a room and own it, don't they?
They really do. One's a little more talkative than the other, that's for sure. Talk about career lists for these guys. When you have somebody like Herschel Walker around, when you make lists, that's pretty good company. And Nick's number 2, and Sony's closing the gap on Garrison Hurst and Todd Gurley. That's good company, man.
Yeah. And funny, they were completely opposite. You know, Sony Michel was the 5-star guy.
Right.
He was the guy that expected to play early in his career. He got nicked early and allowed Chubb to get the start.
And he said, you know what, I don't think I was ready for it, but Nick was.
It all turned out to be fate.
The guy from small town Georgia over the 5-star recruit from Miami, and now you can't see one without seeing the other. Sometimes not in the same backfield, but when they're together on campus. Johnson, flag down, probably going to be a hold, and Roquan Smith's going to take Steven Johnson and ditch him just in case.
Hey, you better be careful, Roquan. They're going to need you. You don't want to get thrown out of this football game because next football game is triple option. And we talked to him yesterday about that, and he said, no.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense, number 15. 15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
So that was on DeAndre Walker in the backfield. Not a holding call, but a defensive face mask
It
penalty.
must have been his hand to the face mask on the pass rush. But we're talking about Roquan Smith about this game. He said, well, play well because next game you're going to get the triple option. Oh, yeah, he grabbed it and pulled him down. That's what it was. It wasn't a hand going up. He actually yanked him down. Watch that.
Oh, right there.
Yes.
And it gives Kentucky life at the 43. Throw complete, and a nice throw down to Taven Richardson. Kentucky trying to answer right back here.
That's his offensive line and works his way up in the pocket and hits those crossing routes. They're deadly.
Johnson, quick throw to the outside, this time down around the 35. K'Wan Ross made the catch. At the Georgia 35, second down and 6. Throw complete again, but what a hit, Juice Johnson. And that's Aaron Davis, another one of the seniors and a captain today.
Kentucky's going to take their last time out. It's a smart one because they did not get the first down. Aaron Davis, that's the way that they were talking about that secondary needed to tackle right there. Kentucky, if they do not make the first down, let's suppose it's a small sack, plenty of time to get your field goal team out there. If you get a first down, you can either have 2 plays in huddle or go out and spike the ball.
They're already in their field goal kicker's range. But they would love a touchdown here before the break. Johnson lofts it, far sideline, just off the fingertips of Benny Snell. Put it right where he had to put it.
And he had Lynn Bowden wide open for the first down. Now, I could say, yes, he's got a good matchup there, and a good throw's a big play. But for the first down, Lynn Bowden, number 1, who goes in motion, watch him. Easy first down right there. Take it. You go for the big play, sometimes you don't hit it.
Now they're going to go for a big play. They're not going to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
So it's 4th down and 2. Georgia brings extra men up on the line of scrimmage. Johnson to throw. And was it bobbled?
Dropped it.
They did. Georgia takes over. Taven Richardson.
Had him wide open. Richardson had to slow down for it, but should have made that catch, and it would have been a big first down with plenty of time. Got to catch that one.
Got his feet kind of tangled up in the turf or something.
You know, I thought Taven, the ball was not thrown as hard as he thought. It was almost like a changeup, and he kept trying to move and wait for the ball to get there, and then didn't handle it.
Going to take a knee. Kentucky can't stop it, so Georgia's going to the locker room with a 21-6 lead in their final home game. They're halfway to their 10th win of the season. End of the half, Georgia up 21-6. For Allie's halftime interview with Coach Smart, go to Twitter at SEC on CBS. And right now we leave Athens between the hedges to go to New York and Adam Zucker. Zuck.
Chubb cuts behind the blocker, gets into the end zone, touchdown. Dive for the pylon, touchdown, Sony Michel.
Set to start the third quarter at Sanford Stadium between the hedges, and 7th-ranked Georgia with a 21-6 lead on the Wildcats of Kentucky. Second quarter touchdowns by Sony Michel and a touchdown throw, Jake Fromm, to Javon Wims. Stretched out what was a 7-6 game for quite a while. And Kentucky will get the ball first. to start the second half. Rodrigo Blankenship going to tee it up for Georgia. Their final home game of the season. Georgia plays at Georgia Tech next week. Bowden back waiting on the kick, and it won't be returnable, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
It's enough. One thing I know for sure, Kentucky better score next.
They got the opportunity to open the third quarter, and they're going to try to get Benny Snell involved, and he got a nice stiff arm out on the corner and picked up 8 as we check in with Allie to bring up second down and 5 in Georgia territory.
Yeah, back-to-back good runs. One of them tagged with a personal foul. I think Kentucky's only path is establish the run first, then throw the ball.
Here comes the throw. If he can get it off, he's going to have to keep it now. Tucks it. And wow, took a big shot, but he got a first down.
I'll tell you, the players on this team and the fans of Kentucky love this guy, Steve Johnson. That's what can electrify your football team right there.
Got him a first down at the 40. Now he wants to go back to the air. Down the middle, great catch by Richardson. And another first down, Kentucky. Offense, 21 touchdowns up 35 trips. They're at it right now with a second down right at the 20. Snell empties the backfield. Johnson looks his way and then throws in the middle to the tight end, C.J. Conrad. He's down inside the 15.
The yardage first.
And again, they're in the Wildcat.
Has not worked for him, has it?
Not really. Benny Snell, Georgia thinking about a run blitz. And here they come with it. Snell cuts outside, puts his hand on his blockers, puts his head down, and heads to the end zone. Didn't quite get there, but that's his best run of the day.
Totally. Well, it didn't work inside, but this time Benny Snell did a great job of bouncing it outside.
There after that 12-yard pickup in the Wildcat. He got him close. He got him in. Touchdown, Kentucky.
What a drive.
You said they had to score first this half, and they have.
75 yards, and again, the penalty got them started. Got them out into a comfortable spot, and then they just went from there.
The first Saturday of December at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they can put it up there. But right now, they're worried about Kentucky because it's a one-possession game.
Yeah, and you can make the argument if they don't drop the pass at the end of the second quarter, it's less than that.
Nico Hardman from the 5. Hardman fires past everybody out to the 40.
You talk about no fear. This guy is running a sprint.
35-yard kick return.
Well, he's been making every pass.
He's under center with Nick Chubb behind him on first down, and it's Chubb. Broke one tackle, cuts outside. Nick Chubb across midfield. Chubb's all the way to the 40-yard line.
To the Kentucky 39.
Well, Josh Allen missed the tackle to start, and he finished it.
That was a dirty 21-yarder. And gets Georgia to the 39 of Kentucky. Swift out of jet sweep trying to get to the corner. Blazevich got a block for him, and he's got a first down, pick up the 13.
He sure did. You called it. Jeb Blazevich, number 83, another one of those seniors. A great answer drive here by Georgia.
Kentucky brings a blitz. Nick Chubb's going to try to run through it all and does, down to the 10 or very close.
Well, I tell you, this offensive line that was stymied a week ago is answering now.
Handoff Sony, angles to the near side, to the 5, to the 4, to the 3. Touchdown! Yeah, he got there again!
One more team that has a chance, barring complete chaos.
I'm going to ask you who that is in a second. Play action, Johnson down the middle. Good throw and catch.
Yeah,
okay, who's the other team?
I think the last team that has a chance to get in there with just a little bit is Ohio State. Ball.
Third down and 4. Need to get to the 47 of Georgia for a first down. Walker, the motion man, to and from the top of your screen. Johnson waits too long. The ball is out. Kentucky, I think, covered it. But Georgia finally gets to the Kentucky quarterback, and he's still down.
Well, DeAndre Walker that time, number 15, came around the corner with a blur. Made the play, and that's what forced the fumble. He beat Asafo Adjei that time, and that tight corner was what caused the fumble.
Eaters up front can either protect Jake Fromm or move the pile.
Here's the opportunity. They worked hard to get it into a passing situation. The only thing that could be here is, remember, the last time in this situation they went quarterback draw.
And he's got Sony Michel, who knows how to find a little crease if they give it to him. Fromm waits and throws, and a nice defensive play at the last second by Lonnie Johnson out there on the corner.
Established the running game. I really think that's a big part of this football game for Kentucky to get back in it.
And that's been Benny Snell for the most part. And here's some more of Benny Snell following his blockers. Looks like could have been almost another face mask. He had to adjust his helmet there. Out there. 2nd and 3. Snell got popped and spins for a first down.
You know, that's Georgia, I think, 26th rush attempt, no, 27th rush attempt in the football game. They still have not rushed for 100 yards in the game. You know, they struggled a little bit running the ball against Florida and Mississippi State, two other tough rush defenses. They've been more successful against the teams everybody runs the ball against. Missouri, Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Vandy. That's where they had their big ones. They have no other path. They need to help the protection with the run game.
Bowden and the Wildcat, again, they run the quarterback across. Bowden can throw, and he is going to zip it as far as he can into coverage. And Georgia's got it. Intercepted by Aaron Davis.
Well, it's one-on-one. Garrett Davis with Garrett Johnson, with Aaron Davis. He really wasn't open, but remember, this is a true freshman wildcat slot receiver, and he just lets it go. And he's hoping that he can get one of those catches, a 50-50 ball, and this time Georgia won the 50-50 ball.
Senior grad student, and he's got the Spike Award over there on the sideline. Captain today out of Locust Grove, Georgia. Big play, big turnover.
Let it go. Try to get it. They called the pass, Coach. I threw it. You called it.
And here's Nick Chubb, almost to the secondary. Flips close to a first down. So 2nd and 17. Nick Chubb goes through some tacklers, backpedaling his way all the way to the 30.
And that should have to allow Georgia to take it to the 4th quarter and decide what they're going to do. But again, Nick Chubb put it into a situation that it's possible they can pick this thing up.
He's been a workhorse for 4 years, came back from a devastating knee injury to be the number 2 rusher all time. And between those two dudes, they played some pretty marvelous football for 4 years here. And they played pretty good 3 quarters on Senior Day today. The quarter closes in Athens, end of 3. Georgia in front, 28-13. We'll return to Athens, Sanford Stadium, after this message and a word from your local station. Uga 10, his team up 15 as we start the 4th quarter in Athens. 7th-ranked Bulldogs leading Kentucky. Here between the hedges, final home game of the year for the Dogs. Senior Day has been good to a lot of these guys out here playing their final game at Sanford Stadium. Their freshman quarterback's got a 3rd and 5 and throws into some tight coverage and a first down. And Georgia trying to move down for more points.
You know, you called it a week ago when I asked you, what's the key to the game? Stop the run.
Stop the run, don't let them throw over the top.
Well, I hate to say it, but it is true, you know.
Nick Chubb has gone over 1,000, and he's heading to the end zone. Touchdown. 1,000 and then hit 45 more later.
Chubb gets a touchdown, and Isaiah Wynn, number 71, gets the pancakes. Watch this guy right here. Left tackle, 77, gets the block to the outside, stays on his block long enough to allow the play, doesn't hold, and unfortunately, it was Josh Allen again who was in the middle of the play. Endo Baker, number 53 and 65, do a beautiful combo block to the second level, and then you get Chubb going right between them before he bounces out. Watch this. Combos. Fit it, and then come off it, and then split it. Watch him split it, and then bounce out. That is pretty. I bet you Aaron Taylor just texted you again. Look at your phone. You can't do any better than that.
And Nick Chubb, with that carry, goes over 1,000 yards on the season. It's his 23rd career 100-plus game. And 35-13 our score. Snell, nothing.
We're going to have the Cracker Barrel Pancake Award. Right?
That's pretty good company. He's number 2 to Herschel in just about
everything.
everything.
You see that cut? He split and trusted the hole, and then he saw the safety get cut laterally, and the impressive spot. After that knee injury, turned on the Jets.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a lot. You put that into some tape, and somebody in the NFL is going to say, all right, I'll take a chance on you.
Trying to throw a screen, Johnson, and he throws it in the dirt. That one was read beautifully by Roquan Smith and company, and he really never had any place to go with it. Trenton Thompson was putting the pressure on him. They bring a delayed blitz, and they almost got to Johnson. He got away somehow, but he still got leveled at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Malcolm Parrish comes off that short corner. In college football, when you're on that hash, the near hash corner always is a threat to come from that side, and you can see it. From the right side, he comes late, but flushes Johnson out of the pocket and allows the sack from behind by Walter Grant. If you're on, but nobody knows it's you.
Well, somebody knows what that guy is.
Yeah, so it's his
buddy. He didn't
buddy.
have the mask on.
Yeah. Okay. That's Frank, because he knows Timmy. That's Timmy, Frank's buddy right next to him.
Here's the jet sweep to DeAndre Swift. He's got blockers in front, broke a tackle. Swift spins his way into Kentucky territory around the 43-yard line.
Well, Charlie Werner, the H-back on this one, does a nice job going out and fitting to the outside. See the block right there to the outside? That allows Swift to get into open space and show the talent he has.
He's going to be one of the featured backs next year for Georgia when Michelle and Chubb move on. They've got some recruits that are big names, big-time guys coming in as well. But he could be a feature back with a lot of people. They're going to try him again going the other way. And Swift into the open field. Rips off a 17-yard run, and then that one was even better.
Yeah, Blazevich that time from the other side, one of the 3 different tight ends is going to arc block and then come back. How about that? He feels that he has to come back and help inside on Courtney Love. A beautiful job by Blazevich that time. Over 300 yards rushing in a football game.
So now Sony Michel comes back in. Swift gets a breather. Brian Herring's also in there. They're going to give it to Herring.
Come on, that's not right. 3 straight?
Oh, my goodness. And Herring thinking touchdown.
Now
he's out.
Stepped up. How about that? That's almost rubbing salt in your wound to run that play 3 straight times.
If it's working?
Yeah, keep calling it. I want to show Auburn and Alabama and Georgia Tech as they go Wildcat here. What else we have?
Sony Michel, direct snap. Sony Michel to the end zone. Touchdown for the 3rd time today. You think the seniors are having fun? Wildcats not so much. Third time number 1 has been in the end zone today as he blasts his way in to cap a 60-yard drive in just 4 plays.
Jeez. That's tough.
That's a Kentucky fan that's sleeping. Here, great day for the seniors. You never forget your senior day, but when it's this good, you definitely won't forget it. Nick Chubb, 151-2. Sony Michel, 87-3. Aaron Davis had an interception. Just some of the seniors that are shining here in now the nighttime of Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, and I'm wondering as I watch this, what is the Georgia fan thinking? Okay, they're happy about this game. But what's going through their mind as they watch Georgia run the ball, play a great football game, thinking about what happened to them to Auburn and the fact that they're going to face Auburn or Alabama for the championship?
Well, the thing that took away was any wiggle room they had. Now they just got to keep on winning. Let's check in with Allie.
Guys, a really emotional moment here on the sideline for Georgia as senior Isaiah Wynn sort of took everybody together on the offense, the linemen, the running backs, and he just gave them all a big hug. The whole team was standing up, just telling each other how thankful they were for one another, and it all goes back to what Sony Michel told us when we talked to him this week, and he said, the reason we came back is because we knew we had an opportunity to do great things, but we all just love each other too. It's good guys that have a chance to really do something great. So a feeling of love and admiration on this Georgia sideline.
I get why Steven Johnson was like, what did I do? But anyway, back to Snell, working hard and staying on his feet. What a run.
I love to watch competitors. Competitors don't care what the score is.
No,
you know?
not Kentucky. Just inside the 33. Georgia had too many guys on the field, I think.
Once you're in formation, you can't get off the field. That'll be 12 men on the field.
5-yard penalty, first down.
You know, more that I was talking about Georgia fan is not just, I think when they look at this game and they saw what happened against Auburn, they're going, okay, we can beat the East guys, but do we have enough to beat the West guys? You know, I mean, you know a lot of Georgia fans. I saw a lot of them in the hotel. Not one of them said one word about last week except that we got the dog beat out of us, right?
Exactly.
Okay? And I think they're wondering, okay, we ran for 300 against these guys, but can we do that against Auburn or Alabama?
And we asked some of the players yesterday, do you want another shot at Auburn? And to a man, they said, you bet we do.
Sure.
They know how many bad mistakes, bad penalties, stupid plays they had in that game.
It's this year to throw more yards up there.
Yeah. 3rd and 5. Juice Johnson in motion into a slot. Steven Johnson to throw out in the flat. Completes it. It's going to be a first down, and nice reboot there by Juice Johnson to pick up a couple extra yards.
If a Dan Mullen or a Mike Gundy start taking job, and then once jobs start going, they start flowing every different direction.
Well, there was talk about Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M, and if that happened, would they Mark Stoops be a candidate at Florida State? There's all kinds of stuff you can talk about. It's all just talk right now.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to be action pretty soon because of the early signing period. You can't wait too long to get a coach.
Well, this is what you're forced to talk about when you have a 29-point game like this, right?
We'd be saying this if we were sitting in a restaurant.
That's true.
So.
Well, that'd be after the game. Though listen, one thing I do know is that Kentucky's played a lot of tight games, okay?
And a new quarterback in for Georgia. The starter a year ago, Jacob Eason, who was hurt in the first game this year in the 3rd offensive series for the Dogs, going to take over with 5 minutes and change remaining in the game. Here's DeAndre Swift again. They ran it 3 times on the last series. That time they slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, that's 4 out of the last 5 plays they've ran the jet sweep.
So Jake Fromm's day is done. 9 out of 14, 123, touchdown, and an interception.
Again, I mean, Georgia would love to be able to keep Jake Fromm at under 20 passes. And when he's in that type of mode, throwing the play-action passes, the pocket's clean, and he is very accurate. I mean, come on, he's a true freshman playing high school ball a year ago. You can't expect him to be carrying a team. The question is this enough against the 2 big boys in the West?
One of those big boys will meet Georgia December 2nd at Mercedes-Benz Stadium for all the SEC marbles. Here's Elijah Holyfield getting in the act. And he's got a first down, it appears. Talking about jet sweeps. They ran 3 of these in a row the last time they scored.
Yeah, one works to Swift. Okay, and Jim Chaney is getting bored over there because there's a big score. And he goes, you know what? Let's bust the scouting report wide open and run it the other way. Oh, well. This is like being a wishbone coach. Let's call it again.
Yeah, we're 17, then 25, but let's give it to Herring and let him get it down first and goal. There's Jim. One of the most entertaining coaches to talk to around.
That's like calling plays when you're at Army, Navy, or Air Force. Just run that thing again.
or Georgia Tech, which is what the Dogs will see next week in Atlanta. Elijah Holyfield bounces off a couple of tacklers, and he heads for what might be another first down.
It
really
is
close.
Interesting that as good as Nick Saban's done in Alabama, that's obvious, right?
Yeah.
I think what Kirby has done here in 2 years at Georgia has really put a lot of pressure on the rest of the coaches in the conference.
No
They're all
doubt.
going, well, wait a second. We knew that Nick built the program, but we didn't know the right guy at any program like Georgia does it that fast. I think that put pressure on everyone else in this conference. Last time they see Jacob Eason
That's a good point.
on this field, unless he comes back in a different uniform.
They've got a good freshman quarterback coming in next year. They've got Jake Fromm, who started basically the whole season this year. Herring broke a couple of tackles. All the running backs trying to get in the act. And Georgia just rolling up rushing yardage now against Kentucky. Wynn, Baker, Gilliard, Kinley, Thomas, all those guys. Great game today for Georgia. Now, giving another senior an opportunity to be on his home field for the last time, Bryce Ramsey.
This is one of the tough things about college football. You know, Bryce Ramsey at one time was the recruit. He was the four-star quarterback that came in here. But you got to give a lot of credit. Loves steering at Georgia, stuck it out, done a little bit of everything, and even punted for him. But he's going to get his degree. He's a graduate student already, and Kirby puts him out there for these last couple plays.
Don't forget, coming up after our game, Adam the guys will have the CBS Sports Postgame Show powered by Ram. And the most popular play in college football, if you're fortunate enough to run it, is the victory formation and taking a knee, and Georgia's going to take a couple more, and they will be 10-1. Christian Payne in there too as a protector, number 47. Give him a little love. The fullback doesn't carry it a lot, but he sticks his nose in as a lead blocker a lot of the time over his 4 years in Athens. Kirby Smart's 10-1. Kentucky falls to 7-4. And now it's just a Georgia Tech game away for Georgia before heading to the SEC championship game against the winner of Auburn, Alabama in the Iron Bowl next Saturday. Happy seniors. And why not? What a way to bounce back from their only loss of the season. Big time win on their home field, 42-13. The winning coach is with Allie.
Coach, congratulations on the win. You said this team would be defined by how they responded to last week's loss. What did you think about the way they responded today?
A lot of effort, a lot of toughness, good physical team we just played. Proud of these seniors. Sony Michel, Nick Chubb. Look what these guys do for this program. They mean a lot to me personally, but they mean even more to this fan base for all they've meant.
You know, these guys believed in you. They stuck it out with you, and they said, we're going to come back because we believe we can accomplish great things here. What was it like seeing them shine and knowing that they believed in you this whole time?
It made me feel special, and it set this program up for a lot of success. But to have two guys like this that are going to be able to come back forever, play in the NFL next year, meant so much to this program, and we're not done yet. We're proud of both of them.
Congratulations, Coach. Sony, what was it like playing for the last time in Sanford Stadium?
It was awesome, man. You know, just coming out here one time with these boys and enjoying this wonderful crowd, Dog Nation. It was a pleasure. I appreciate them. It was amazing today.
You have some things to give to this wonderful woman over here, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got a big hug to give her. You know, she got a lot more coming. She's been proud of me. This is who I do it for at the end of the day. You know, everybody got their why. I do it for them. I do it for my teammates. And at the end of the day, I just don't want to let them down.
Congratulations. Enjoy this moment with your team.
Thank you.
Did you notice how Nick Chubb in the beginning of the interview went like this?
Yes,
come on, you got to get in here, partner.
Wave over, and he was happy as Kirby's got one of the youngins hugging there, but he was like, Sony, take this thing. Come
on. Let you talk. Kirby with his son out there, Andrew, and his twins, Weston and Julia. Right now it's time for our play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. It's going to be a senior. It's going to be Nick Chubb. Here's a call from Scott Howard.
We're going to run it with Chubb through traffic across the 50, far sideline, 40, 30, race to the end zone, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Nick Chubb. It's Chubby time in Athens, Georgia.
It was Chubby time, it was Sony time, it was senior time in Athens today. Celebration begins, a 10-1 season, undefeated against the SEC East for the first time forever for Georgia.
I said in the open that I thought Kentucky was the perfect team to play. It was perfect way for Georgia to end the East and the SEC before they set it up.
Next is Georgia Tech, then it's Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz for the SEC title. That's going to wrap it up for Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce, Brad Nessler saying so long from Athens. 42-13, 7th-ranked Dogs win. College football postgame show powered by Ram is up next, right after these messages. So long from Athens.